Drawing is the foundation of everything that I do, and has always been. I focus a lot now on mark making and sort of the meditative qualities of doing that, and so there's a lot of repetition and rhythm. And when I get to draw like that, it takes me out of my head in a good way. I'm not constantly judging everything that I'm doing or like thinking about what it's going to become. It's just about the actual act of putting pen to paper and making marks. I think that the meditative quality of drawing is something that has always brought me to it. I mean, just repetitious things in general. I love walking. I love printing, which is, repetitive one after the other. There's something in walking that has always activated my brain, and when I'm outside, I feel connected to the world in a way that I don't feel in any other part of life. And then, sometimes that actually evolves into a drawing that I want to make into a print. But I try to not have expectations of the practice, because so much of it is being in that moment and the action of doing it, working with my hands.
I have not dreamt in some time, so I've come to claim what's not mine.
I instantly fell in love with this place for a variety of reasons, partially because I'd always been attracted to the mountains because I did love hiking, but also this mountain has such an amazing community. Penland, as an educational institution, is so much about having ideas be open and sharing with each other, and that was something that was always really inspiring to me, that people weren't like, you're gonna steal my amazing technique or idea. It's none of that's important. Here's how I do it. I'll show you step by step. It was an idea that I had had for years, sort of in the back of my brain, kicking around. Eventually, I just thought, okay, now I have all the skills I need to actually make this idea that I've had kicking around happen. I'm using presses from the late 1800s, the 1950s, that were designed for completely different purposes than I'm using them for. Traditionally, letterpress printers were printing flyers and books and, materials that got sent out to the masses. I've found more of what feels like a true expression of myself in some way, and I think that has taken years of attention and work. And now when I create a piece, I feel like, I never feel like this is it, this is the one, it's like, this is an important step to the next one. And that's what's exciting, is that you're never gonna make the one perfect thing. It's this thread that you're following, and that continues to move forward is the most exciting part. I have a mountain feist named Buck, We got him at a animal rescue in Asheville. He's a feisty little guy, which makes the mountain feist breed appropriate. And he's my little companion. He walks with me everywhere and loves running on the trails. Often I talk to my dog and Justin thinks I'm talking to him. He'll be like, "What?" And I'm like, "No, I'm talking to Buck." Maybe my favorite part is the actual die cutting of the shapes. It's just like such a magical transition from the flat piece to then this blank that's ready to be folded up. It's really satisfying to feed each sheet of paper into the press and have it cut out exactly the way you want. And possibly like I'm the most attracted to that part of the process right now because it's the new exciting thing for me. I've been thinking about the traditions of weaving and sewing and different patterns that were part of my family growing up, and just seeing like how I can translate that into paper. My mom did a lot of quilting growing up, and those patterns really inspired me. That way of piecing things together, I think now has translated into my work. And I'm trying to both pay homage to the traditions of printing and a lot of the textile history that is in my family and is also in this area. As I worked on them more and wanted to incorporate heavily patterned pieces and thinking about how with the dimension of the paper they start to feel like a woven structure or a quilted structure, that became very evident where that came from for me. Having done letterpress for so long and starting doing very traditional work where I'm setting metal or wood type and they're each these individual blocks, and then doing now this paperwork that's modular, I feel like I'm just creating another modular, like gridded system to work within. I definitely respect the tradition of printing, but I'm also like looking for ways to evolve within that. I don't think that my work is necessarily directly inspired by patterns or things I see in nature, but definitely my work is inspired by the experience that being in nature gives me. This sense of calm and innate connection to a place and to a feeling. I hope that you take away a similar state of being.